Hello, this is Dishari Datta. Today's topic will be force acting in suspension. As you know, suspension is formed when an insoluble solid is dispersed uniformly and homogeneously throughout the dispersion. And this is most important when the patient is required to have uniform doses over the period of time, as it is seen in suspension that when the suspension is prepared, then the particles are uniformly distributed throughout the suspension, but on due course of time these particles settle down at the bottom, and sometimes it is very difficult to redisperse these particles into the suspension uniformly, and hence ununiform distribution of drug particles occur, and the doses which is taken up by the patient is not uniform over a period of time. So what is interfacial tension? Interfacial tension is the force of attraction between the molecules at the interface of two liquids. That may be oil or water, or maybe any other liquid which is to be determined. At the air liquid surface interface, this force is often referred to as surface tension. The SI unit for interfacial tension are millinewtons per meter. These are equivalent to the former units of dyne per centimeter. Now let's recapitulate something about the flocculated suspension and deflocculated suspension. The deflocculated suspension are discrete and the particles are as unit, whereas in flocculated suspension the particles have some kind of attraction between them, or the forces like van der Waals forces or London force of attraction, in which they form raft like material which help them to float. But on increase in the size of the raft, they often settle under gravity, and hence they have a higher rate of settling than the deflocculated suspension. But do not confuse. Deflocculated suspension, they settle very slowly but not as rapidly as flocculated suspension. But when the volume is considered, the volume of sediment is considered, then the deflocculated suspension have lesser volume of sediment than flocculated suspension, as the volume is increased when the floccules settle while taking some of the solvents with them while settling, and hence when they are redispersed they get settled with the solvent, and on agitation they again redisperse and form a uniform suspension. The stability of suspension is mostly dependent upon the Stokes law, in which it is clear that the particle size should be as small as possible so that the rate of settling is less. But when the suspensions are produced in large quantity, then it must be kept in mind that the aggregation of small particles must not occur, and it is very important in case of injectable suspension. The addition of suspending agent at optimum concentration is very vital while preparation of suspension. The different concentration of suspending agents must be tested, and the optimum concentration should be used to prepare the suspension. As you have learned earlier, that the polymer like material, which is a suspending agent, forms a coating on the particles which prevent the settling, or it makes the suspension viscous, whereas appropriate viscosity is very much necessary. When the appropriate viscosity is not achieved, then porability can be a problem. So the optimum concentration of suspension will consider proper settling of particles over a larger period of time, and not increasing the viscosity of the suspension so that the suspension can be easily poured from the bottle to a glass or any other dispensing agent. Second, the flux formation. The flux formation can be altered by the addition of a flocculating agent. The flocculating agent, they altered the charges on the particle, and hence the forces of attraction are increased or decreased depending upon the addition of the third agent. When the flux are formed, or when the particles have some kind of attraction in between them, as I have told earlier, then they settle very rapidly, but they can be easily redispersed on time. The flux formation can be altered, and this can be studied by different method. The surface tension can be studied, and the different other parameters can be studied for the flocculation formation, and hence for the dispersibility of the suspension. Next, not increasing the viscosity or controlled flocculation. As I have told earlier that the floccules can be formed, they increase the viscosity when the polymer like material is added to the suspension, and hence it creates problem while delivering or while dispensing. Hence, not increasing the viscosity or controlled flocculation can solve the problem of such kind. Another important criteria that must be considered while formulation of any suspension, and this is surface free energy. The surface free energy is calculated through the contact angle measurements, and the water contact angle measurement alone gives the indication of a wetting of a solid, but surface free energy is the quantitative measure of the intermolecular forces at the surface, which is independent of the liquid used. By knowing the surface free energy of any solid, one can predict the behavior of any liquid on the surface. The surface free energy is also the sum of intermolecular interactions. Surface free energy arises from the intermolecular interactions at an interface, which include van der Waals forces such as London dispersive forces, Debye, inductive forces, Keesom orientation forces. Other interactions are hydrogen bonding, dipole-dipole interactions. The surface free energy predicts the liquid and solid interaction. Hence, it is very important while formulation of a suspension where the insoluble solid is dispersed in a liquid. The reference for this topic is given as below. It is well described in Martin's physical pharmacy book. You can go through this. If you are having any difficulty, you can write down in the comment section or in your Google Classroom.